Thank you for taking some time for yourself. Now I'd like you to have a new experience. One where you can finally stop pretending that thinking about the darkness is the same as finding the light. You don't have to think or reply or try to do anything at all, because your conscious mind is exhausted from the cycle of depression, and it isn't important to work anymore. Your unconscious mind will just inevitably hear everything it needs to hear without any effort on your part at all. And you can wonder just how quickly your mind can travel to a quiet, humid sanctuary. It isn't necessary to force the body to relax. Without knowing it, you've already begun to let your feet feel heavy, like roots settling deep into cool, dark earth. Perfect. I'd like you to let yourself become more and more aware of the breath as it enters your body. Rich, moist, and full of life. And as you exhale, I wonder if you'll enjoy the feeling of that heavy, tired energy simply leaving your system. Can you notice the way your chest expands with each breath? An effortless expression of your own existence. You don't need to be concerned if your mind feels slow or foggy. Just allow it to happen, noticing how the stillness travels up through your legs and over your heart. Perhaps noticing a certain flexibility in time and space, where the urgency of your sadness begins to stretch and thin out, leaving you with a simple, wordless feeling of just being right here, right now. One of the things I'd like you to discover is that your depression is often a form of plant blindness, directed inward. You see only shadow and not the alchemist within. I want to remind you of something that you probably already know. Carlos Magdalena is a world-famous plant expert at Kew Gardens, a massive historic park in London that's like a Noah's Ark for plants. He is known as the Plant Messiah because he travels to the most remote corners of the globe to rescue plants that other scientists have given up on. When a scientist gives up, they often declare a species extinct in the wild, or effectively dead, a total excision of that life from our world's map. They stop trying because they believe the code for that plant to grow has been lost forever. But Carlos refuses to accept this finality. He spent years on the Café Marron, a tree from a tiny island that hadn't produced a seed in decades, while others saw a hopeless case. He saw a plant that was simply waiting. He sat with it, changed its environment, and eventually coaxed it back to life. He did the same for the pygmy Rwandan water lily, the world's smallest lily, which had vanished from its home. It was considered gone, yet Carlos found the one specific tiny detail it needed: hot, damp mud to wake it up. Your central distortion is excessive rumination, the engine of your depression. You spend your mental energy replaying hopeless scenarios over and over, much like those scientists staring at a shriveled seed and declaring it dead. You've been ruminating in the dark, thinking that replaying the pain is a solution, when your mind actually needs the strategic break of the greenhouse. You've been trying to fix the plant by staring at the rot. Carlos fixes it by changing the soil. And you can allow yourself to let those repetitive thoughts go. It isn't important to find the reason for the shadow tonight. You don't need to be concerned if the internal chaos of your sadness begins to settle into a quiet, fertile stillness, almost as if you are watching the heavy mist of the greenhouse being cleared by a warm, golden light, until the territory of your worries is finally quiet and still. And I want you to notice something that's happening to you without really trying. It'll just happen all by itself. That your focus shifts from why the plant is dying to how can the plant bloom? I wonder if you'll enjoy how naturally, how easily you find yourself reinvesting in your own internal strength and hope. You don't need to defend your sadness. The peace dividend of the present moment has arrived. Without knowing it, you've already begun to feel a sense of effortless expression where you can breathe without the weight of the past. You don't have to think or apply or to do anything at all, because the borders of your mind are now protected and the house is finally in order. And sooner or later, I don't know just when, you'll notice a tree, a leaf, or even the way your eyes enjoy nature, and you'll be reminded that you are governed by the same phenomena of the physical world and the products of the earth. And would you be willing to experience a sudden sense of renewal every time you take a deep breath? It's rewarding to know that this breath is already calculating your restart. And now you know better than anyone that the restoration has begun, perhaps sooner than you expect. You'll find yourself becoming aware of the chair beneath you, feeling a renewed sense of stability. It isn't necessary to rush. Just allow yourself to become aware of the room as your eyes blink open, feeling sharp, restored, and deeply rooted in your own potential. Take a few deep breaths, stretch out, wriggle your fingers and toes, and open your eyes. Welcome back. You're perfect, just as you are.